Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be making a video on what I feel is one piece of gear that can really instantly improve your image quality. This is one piece of gear you can attach onto your camera and it will pretty much instantly improve image quality and get a really nice look if used correctly. That item is the K&F 1/4 mist filter. So I'm going to be explaining how this filter can help you achieve cinematic quality, as well as, if used correctly, how easy it can be to just apply it and get the look that you want. Alright, so this is the filter over here, and let's get into the more boring part of the filter before we get into the more interesting part. So the more boring part of this filter is that it is an ND filter. So basically an ND is like sunglasses for your camera, is what a lot of people tend to say. The job of an ND is to be able to control the amount of light going in your camera. So with allowing less light to come into your camera, you're going to be allowed to open up your aperture, which in turn will allow for more creamy and nice looking backgrounds if you have a lens that will allow it. Now that we got the boring part out of the way, let's get into the actual selling point of this filter. But before we get into that, I want to ask a question to any one of you watching. So have you ever wondered why in certain film stocks or in certain movies or artworks that you see, why would a piece be considered cinematic? So if you take a look at these examples over here, you're going to realize the difference is sometimes subtle, sometimes not subtle, but basically the difference is that you get a bloom around the highlights. The whole image tends to be softer and it's going to emulate more of a film look instead of a digital look. Yeah, the look over there is pretty nice, or the look of a more analog kind of feel. So this is what the filter actually does to your images. It blooms the highlights, it makes everything more soft, and it makes your images look more like film. If used properly, you can use your digital camera and make an image that really looks quite filmy and cinematic. So in order to show some of these examples, I'm going to show it on the left and the right side of the screen. So on the left side, you'll notice that the image does tend to look more sharp, and if that's the look that you are going for, then sure, that will completely work. However, on the right side over here, we realize that the image is much softer, and at certain parts it looks quite imperfect, which is what this filter tends to achieve sometimes, from my own opinion and from my own shooting. The imperfect image is what I feel kind of like adds a really nice hint to the photos that you might not be able to get otherwise, or you might spend quite some time in the editing software to achieve. So with this, if you do want to achieve a really cinematic image quality or really like natural feeling image quality, then this really helps to achieve that. So I want to summarize my whole experience with this filter. So I feel like this filter, it must be used very intentionally, because it's not going to fit every job. Like example, if you're doing a corporate shoot, your clients most likely won't be happy with a blurry image in a sense. But if you're doing a portrait shoot and you really want to achieve that film vibe without using too much editing or too much post-processing, then this is definitely an item for you. If you really want to just slap something on your camera and achieve a look almost immediately, then this would be an item for you. And I would say if you just wanted to have fun with your camera and go out and shoot something that you feel might look quite vintage, then this would be the filter for you as well. I've taken this filter out on a few shoots, and in my own opinion and in my own experience, I feel that this filter has to be used very intentionally. You have to put it onto the camera when you know you want this certain look. And although it doesn't always come along with me, to be honest, putting this into my camera bag doesn't really add much space, almost at all. So when I'm doing that, I feel like I don't really lose out much, because if I'm going on a shoot and I don't think that I'll use it, then I'm just going to keep it in the bag and it doesn't take up much space. But if I'm going on a shoot and I see something that I feel could really match the feeling of this filter, then I'm going to bring it out, and it's going to create a very specific look that, if done correctly, can turn out really, really good looking. And it's going to require almost no effort at all, because all you're going to do is screw on the filter to the camera and your job there is pretty much done. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and I wanted to share my thoughts on this filter because I've been enjoying using it quite a lot recently. So what do you think about this filter? You can leave your thoughts in the comments below. So if you found the filter interesting, or you found what I had to say interesting, then don't forget to subscribe so that you can see what I post next.